Interview presented by Canaceutics Medical Dispensary, proudly serving New Mexico cannabis patients with trustworthy all-natural medicine since 2010.
Yeah, this is what this is.
The only difference is now I'm not teaching them math. Now I'm teaching them life skills because, when they leave, they're not thinking about PEMDAS, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. They think, they want to think about how do I get into college? What skills do I need? They don't know about credit score. They don't know about none. You know what I'm saying? So I teach them all of the necessary skills that they need after high school and after college. You know what I'm saying? So that's the things that I'm talking to them about.
We had a study program. It revolves around the 168 hours that everybody
No kidding. I have a whole curriculum I wrote out.
Look, this is, I keep saying it, to teach them when we tell them to study, but we don't teach them.
Yeah.
And then setting the boundaries in place for it. So then with that, for every great educator, I always ask, who was your great educator? Because there had to be somebody to get you there.
Oh, most definitely. It was my history teacher.
Yeah.
I know all the amendments, Bill of Rights, all of that. My history teacher.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. So you said you kind of know what the future is for you, but you're not sure. What are you able to tell fans about your next few months?
Well, I'm a big believer in God, and he drives me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what the future has for me, but I know it's bright because God didn't just give me the gifts of fighting in order to make a bunch of money and drive a bunch of fast cars and have dress nice.
Dress immaculate.
You know what I mean? It's not. It's really not for me.
Right.
Each one teach one. That thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I try to do. I try to take my skills and put them out there for the world. When I say the world, mainly for the youth because they are the future. So I go into these schools and not only do I teach them about discipline and respect, but I tell them the why. That's the most important part is the why. Why do you need discipline? Why do you have to wake up every day and make your bed? It's not about making your bed. Forget making your bed. It's about learning how to be disciplined. Making your bed leads to doing your homework every day. Doing your homework every day leads to going to work on time. Going to work on time leads to getting paid, getting promoted. You know what I mean? So things like that, I just, continue to put out the best versions of myself.
Through all of this, the fight game misses that because they want to put you in a box.
Yeah, that's true.
That is a certain place.
Yeah.
What's the thing about you that even your biggest fans don't know?
Oh man, there's a lot of things about me that my biggest fans don't know. So I always tell this small story. When I first came to this country, I was 9 years old, and I came to a small apartment in Brooklyn, New York, right? And the first thing I did when I got off the airport, went to my apartment in Brooklyn. I saw the bathtub and I filled it up with water, warm water, and I played in it for like 2 hours. You know why I did that? Because number one, I'd never seen a bathtub in my life, and I'd never felt how warm water before in my entire life. And so I realized two things in that moment of being 9 years old. I was like, wow. Number one, people take the little things for granted. You know what I mean? Because my shower was outside in Jamaica. We had a little out spigot. We stand underneath it, and it was cold. You know what I mean? And so I was like, wow, I'm never gonna take the little things for granted ever. And I played in that warm water, and I just realized, like, man, this is a great country. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
That's dope. That's dope.
So that's something my fans don't know.
We know that you do have a fight book coming off of
Yep.
win, a tremendous performance. How do you feel everything's coming together for you right now in the octagon?
I feel like everything's coming together really, really nicely. It's like a puzzle piece, and the pieces to my puzzle are just fitting in really nice. Shout out to Dewey Cooper. He's been a really big help in evolving me as a fighter. And I think a lot of it was just figuring out who was Ode Osbourne. I grew up in Florida and New York. Trained in Wisconsin. Now I live in Vegas. So finding my stride and finding who I am, and I finally found who I am. You know what I mean? So I'm excited about that.
Was it a matter of finding the right person, system to connect with?
100%. My very first mentor, very first coach out of high school was in Wisconsin, and he believed in me so much. He taught me how to have discipline. He taught me, all the things that I'm teaching the students now. My mentor taught me that. Never lost a fight under him. Unfortunately, life has a way of, growing you, and he passed away in a motorcycle accident. And ever since then, I've just kind of trying to find that person again. And, you know, finally I found Dewey Cooper, you know, Black Cobra, and, you know, he is that person. And so I'm finally able to rise and become the person that I was meant to be.
Many of us have seen it, Kevin Lee, Ngannou. What is that presence like in the corner? That walkout, there's just a different energy, it seems like, and confidence when Dewey's with his fighters.
Well, because he prepares you for fight night. It's not like you get on fight night and then you're like, oh man, it's here. You're in fight night your entire camp. You know what I'm saying? You're in the trenches your entire camp. So it's just another day for you. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people freeze under the lights, but Dewey makes it uncomfortable for you your entire camp. So when fight night comes, it's easy.
What is it like being here, the UFC Hall of Fame, UFC Fan Expo this week? We see you dressed up nice, and you're at fight night, you're at fight week. There's a lot of Venom wear and stuff on, but now you get to be dressed up. There's the big night feel. Everybody's excited to see you. What does this weekend feel like for you?
Well, you know, we don't have any off season in fighting. You know what I mean? And so it's great to feel appreciated and connect with the fans because we're always working. We're always fighting. There's no off season. You get done fighting, you take 2 weeks off, you're back to training. So this gives us that connection with the fans, and not just that. You know, I came from a small, we call it like a town we call Kingston, Jamaica. Leon Edwards is from Kingston, Jamaica. He was born in the same hospital as myself. We call it parish. It's a parish. I come from Kingston, and I had never dreamed of being here. You know, I saw Disney Channel, I saw MTV, I saw BET when I was a kid from Kingston, and the red carpet events, and you know, now I get to be somebody that is walking the red carpet event. You know what I'm saying? So for me, words can't be put into perspective of how much this impacts me.
I heard you mention earlier, teacher for many years. Were you a martial artist or a teacher first?
No, so I started out wrestling. I wrestled in Florida and I wrestled in college in Wisconsin. And then I got into being an assistant teacher and, you know, just educate the youth and motivate the youth. And I realized that's something I really had a big passion in. So when I gave that up to come out here in Vegas to fight, I still wanted to project that into our inner city youths, and not just inner city, but all over the world. You know what I'm saying? Because all over the world, kids want options. They want to be motivated. They want to be inspired. So that's why I'm here.
When did you, coming up from those harsh kind of growing up times, when did you believe that your dreams could actually become a reality?
You know what's funny that you say that? I've always believed heavily in God, and I've always known that I was meant for more. Always, ever since I was a kid, I've always had that that feeling. I don't know how to explain it, but just that drive, you know, because I didn't have a lot of people around me that was motivating me. I was kind of by myself a lot. My mom moved to the States when I was younger to build a better life for me, so I was kind of by myself a lot, walking through the jungle of Jamaica and on the beach. And so I had a lot of time, and I felt lonely. You know, I felt like I wasn't being appreciated and deserved, and so that gave me it sparked a fire within me, and it just gave me a lot of, I guess, motivation to become, you know, the Jamaican sensation.
And what does it mean to you when you're in a prelim card and fans are pointing out, Ode, that's one of the guys why I got to tune in early. I know his fight's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and it doesn't even matter if I'm on the prelim, if I'm on the main card, or the early prelims. I'm going to give the fans what they want to see. I'm always that kind of fighter. Like, you know, Joaquin Buckley, he's another one that, you know, we are the same. Win, lose, or draw, we're coming out and we're putting on a show, regardless.